Alright, so I picked up some games over the past month and a half, and the first one that I want to mention is Uncharted 2, and this is one of the best PlayStation 3 games that I've ever played, one of the best games I've played this console generation. I actually recorded this Games I Bought Recently video before, and I ended up talking about Uncharted 2 for so long that I didn't have time to talk about anything else that I picked up, so I actually just edited that into its own video review, which you guys might have seen already. So if you wanted to check out what I have to say about Uncharted 2, go watch that review. This game is totally worth it. It's worth buying a PlayStation 3 for. And if you want to know why, check out that video. Uncharted 2 is awesome. I also picked up Demon's Souls. This is the deluxe edition. And I also did an impressions video on Demon's Souls. So if you want to know about the basics of the game and what Demon's Souls is all about, make sure you check out that impressions video because I basically covered everything. So for those of you that want to know my thoughts on this game now, I'm about 25-26 hours in. My impressions video was about when I was 8 or 9 hours in, I think. So I've unlocked the ability since I made that video to invade other people's games, sort of with the PvP element of it all, player versus player, and that's a lot of fun. I have to admit, this game innovates on so many levels. You know, just being able to force myself into someone else's game and see them like run away from me, or create an ambush and just watch themselves like fall off the cliff. It's so rewarding. Also, the co-op in this game, I've played a lot more with the co-op. I'm about level 55 in here now. I haven't played it in the last couple of days, but I have, significantly played a lot of this online, especially with that Black Phantom mode, invading other people's games, and it's a lot of fun. So, my impressions still stand on this. I have to say, if you're the type of person that doesn't like really overly challenging games where, you get home from a long day of work or school and you just want to relax in a game that's not going to it's not going to frustrate you, Demon's Souls might not be the game for you because you are going to die a lot and there's going to be, a lot of replaying of levels that you've played already. But if you like games that are challenging, like roguelike games, or when you die you gotta, get back to your body or else you lose all your experience and everything like that, definitely give Demon's Souls a try, because this is a game where there's more of a chance that you'll enjoy this game and really like it more than a chance that you won't like it. If you don't like action RPGs, you probably won't like Demon's Souls. There's, really nothing you can do about that. But if you like RPGs or you like action games with, some RPG elements, and you like challenging games, Demon's Souls is definitely the game to check out. Highly recommend it. Pair Uncharted 2 with Demon's Souls, and I have to pick up Ratchet & Clank still. But, once I get Ratchet & Clank, the PS3 has had one killer year so far in terms of exclusive games. Really happy with it. Also, the other day I just picked up Borderlands for the Xbox 360. I was very much on the fence about picking this one up. I really didn't know if I wanted to buy it. I was like, should I get it? Maybe I shouldn't. There's some games coming out now that I want to get. But I decided to get it because of so many people saying how good it was and recommending it to me. And I have to admit, maybe I kind of got my expectations up a little bit too high, because it's a good game, but it's no way in heck as good as I hoped it would be and thought it would be. Best way to describe Borderlands is, I think Fallout 3, open world, kind of wasteland, run-down towns and cities and everything, with online 4-player co-op, paired with a sort of like a first-person Diablo or Gauntlet type game where, it has a heavy looting system where you kill stuff, you're always getting new equipment, but equipment in this game comes in the form of weapons. Now, that's the coolest part about Borderlands, is that the weapons in this game are totally insane. So, you pick up a weapon and it has randomly generated stats. It could have fire damage, it could have electricity damage, it could have corrosive damage, it could just be a regular gun, or it has different modifications like recoil rate and, zoom on there, and all these different factors that can go into the gun, the damage, the fire rate, all this different stuff. So when you pick up a gun, it's always unique unless it's a quest-giving item. Every time you pick up a gun from an enemy or anything that you find, for the most part, it's going to be unique to you for, most likely, unless someone else most likely has that gun somewhere. It might have been generated with the same stats. But what I'm trying to get at is, there's tons of weapons in this game, and if you don't like weapons, don't pick up Borderlands. If you're all about equipping armor and, boosting up your defense and your attack and everything, Borderlands is all about the gun. So it's all about the attack power and how cool of weapons that you can pick up. So basically, you're going around this open world. You can do 4-player online co-op, which is recommended. That's what I've been playing as. There's 4 different classes that you can choose from at the start of the game. There's sort of like the Berserk guy that does the fist attacks. There's a Siren, which is basically a girl who can go invincible for a short amount of time and run really fast and do all these kinds of elemental attacks. There's a Soldier, which is your basic guy, which can spec into healing and damage with a turret. And there's also the Hunter, which is your sniper kind of guy. I chose the Soldier, and each class has their 3 different skill trees. So just like a Diablo game, you can spec into different branches of abilities. So right now I'm specking as a medic as the Soldier, so everything that I'm learning in terms of my abilities is all around healing my teammates, because I'm a team-oriented player and I'm playing online, and I love playing the role of, the party member that everybody wants on their team, to heal the teammates. So each class also has a unique ability. Mine can lay down a turret. The Hunter can, send out a hawk thing to kill the enemies. The Siren can phase walk, which basically makes her invisible and really fast. And the Berserker, I believe, just goes crazy. I forget what his is, but I think he just gets really powerful or something. Don't quote me on that one, though. In terms of the visual style in Borderlands, that's also pretty unique. It's got a cel-shaded look. It's not overly cartoony, but it has a unique style that I have to admit actually fits well into the game, because it does have a sense of humor. It does remind me a lot of Fallout 3, and there's no way of avoiding that. In terms of the menus and everything, it has this Fallout 3 vault kind of feel to it, with the cartoony type character portraits and everything like that. I don't know, there's just something about it that feels very familiar to Fallout 3, and I think the developers themselves, I think actually Borderlands was being worked on before Fallout 3. I could be wrong about that, but it feels like Fallout 3, what can you say? With, the crazy looting, and, you're opening chests and you're getting new weapons. And the only really there's a couple of major complaints I have about the game. Picking up ammo isn't the easiest thing. Your inventory is very limited, so you're constantly dropping stuff. There's no storage in the game, so you either have to drop your weapons or sell them. And I don't know, it's not awesome. It's good, it's fun, it's a good distraction. Maybe my opinions will change on it after I'm about, a couple more hours into it, because I'm only 4 hours in the game right now, I think. 3 or 4 hours. But I've enjoyed what I've played so far, and I would recommend this to anybody that likes online co-op games, Fallout 3, or loot-based games where you're getting constantly some new equipment. So that's Borderlands on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and PC. I also picked up Nostalgia on the DS, and this is a traditional role-playing RPG, and as the name suggests, it's very nostalgic of classic turn-based RPGs. There's really nothing about it that sets it apart. It's got your typical story of the father is the son is going to find his father, and he meets a mysterious girl that's trying to remember her past, and the poor kid that, falls in love with the black mage girl that's in your party, and she doesn't like him. Typical RPG storyline. But there's just something about this game that has made me clunk in 10 hours over the past couple of days. I've been playing this every chance I get during my breaks at school, and I don't know, it's not an awesome game, just like Borderlands. It's not an awesome game, but I'm really having fun with it. Really, the only things that come to mind that can set it apart from any other traditional role-playing RPGs, I mean, it's traditional. It's random encounters, four-person party, turn-based battles. You get new abilities. You have a skill tree where you can level up your abilities. You find gadgets, which basically are stat-boosting pieces of equipment you can put on your characters, like raise critical attack. You can make your character counter. Basically, the only thing that's not a unique idea, but there's airship battles where when you're on the overworld, instead of running around on the overworld, on foot, you go into your ship and you can customize your ship. Each of the 4 characters has their own weapon on board. So when you fight in the skies, basically you gain experience for all 4 of your characters, which is cool. You customize the ship with the 4 different weapons and the armor, and that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of backtracking. There's quests to do, sort of to keep you busy, I guess, take up most of your time and add more length to the game. But those side quests, it's all backtracking, going back to old dungeons and replaying them, and beating a hard boss at the end, and getting a cool item or something. But that's basically Nostalgia. I'd recommend it to turn-based RPG fans, especially if you like Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy III. It's from the same guys that did the art direction for those 2 games. So Nostalgia, I would recommend it. I also picked up Scribblenauts on the DS, but I actually ended up selling that because it was overhyped for me, and basically after spending some time with the game, I decided it wasn't for me. For those of you that don't know what Scribblenauts is, basically you can write anything on the DS touchscreen and it'll appear in game, and it's sort of like a puzzle platformer. I ended up selling it, just wasn't for me. I also picked up Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, which is a fun game for the series. I've only put in about an hour, about 2 or 3 hours into this game, I think. So my impressions, I can't give you too many impressions on it, but the combat is fun. It's got the timing-based elements just like the other Super Mario RPG games. And I like the way that Mario and Luigi interact inside of Bowser, so you can play as Bowser this time, and depending upon what you do inside his body, Bowser gets different abilities in the game. So Mario and Luigi, I'd recommend it, but I haven't played too much of it yet. I also picked up Sonic Gems Collection, mainly just because Sonic the Fighters is in here, and unless I plan on going to an arcade in Japan, I'd never play it, so I picked that up. I also got F-Zero GX for the GameCube, because I actually never played it, and the music's really good. And I picked up a game, Blackstone, for the Xbox. Never heard of it, so decided to pick it up. It looked pretty cool. And Yakuza, because I finally found it in GameStop for a good price. There you go, guys. Those are the games I picked up recently, and thanks for watching.